Becky here and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. Today we are doing a monthly sewing recap and we are doing October and we are now all the way actually like halfway through November. So I thought it was appropriate to be able to wear my Christmas shirt today. So I'm bringing those out. But if you're new here, here's a little rundown of what I do in these videos. I would just go over everything that I made in the previous month. I will show it to you. I will pop up a picture of it being worn if I have a picture of it, and then I'll tell you the fabric I used and just if I have any other notes on the pattern or the fabric or anything like that. And I always say I love doing these videos because it's kind of like a little diary. Sometimes I don't feel very accomplished at the end of the month, especially lately. If you aren't familiar with me, I currently have a now 9-month-old baby, as well as a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. So I'm pretty busy around with life and things like that. And so my sewing time has been more limited. And then also adding on pattern designing and all kinds of other things, life. Sometimes I don't feel very accomplished, and so at the end of the month I can sit down and look at everything that I accomplished. It makes me feel a little bit more accomplished. Even if I only sewed a couple things, it's still fun to look back. And I also do these for you guys to see, one, how much a busy mom of 3 can accomplish, and to also hopefully introduce you guys to maybe some new patterns, some new fabric shops, or just help you feel a little bit more comfortable picking up a pattern that you were unsure of. And before we get started, I just wanted to add, I will link all of the patterns down in the description, as well as the fabric if it's still available, and anything else that I mentioned, any tools or anything like that, will all be linked down below as well. So let's get started. So the first couple of things I don't currently have because I did ship them off. I have a picture of 2 of them actually. That I will pop up. In one, I sewed up a dolman sweater for my brother's friend's daughter, and it's just really cute. It was the Lowland Kids dolman. I actually did 2 of these this month, so I will show you the other one here in a second. This one I did in a cotton spandex, so it's a little bit lighter weight. The fabric is from Raspberry Creek, and I love, love, love Raspberry Creek's fabrics. You can kind of see here how I use some different fabrics that were all from them. They have coordinating lines, so it's really easy if you want to do like pattern matching. I know that can be really scary, especially online, trying to match colors and things like that, but Raspberry Creek does a phenomenal job of creating cohesive lines and then also coordinating that. They have stripes and dots and solids that coordinate as well. They try to tie all of those colors in as well. So if you are worried about print matching, color matching, things like that, head to Raspberry Creek and they are my go-to. They release new lines every season and every holiday, and then they also have custom printing options as well. And their in-house prints, which are the ones that they release every season, are at a much cheaper price than the custom printing. So make sure you look at their in-house prints. They also have a lot of in-stock ready to ship fabrics and wovens like that. So make sure you check them out. Highly, highly recommend. And the next thing I made, this was just a picture my brother sent me, so it's not the best, but this is a Lowland Kids raglan. So it's just a pullover. This one I used double brush poly from Raspberry Creek. The double brush poly is a little bit drapier for a pullover. It's not really a sweatshirt. It makes it more like a loose fitting t-shirt, long sleeve top, but it's really cute. Again, I made that one for my brother's friend's son. The last thing that I don't have, and I don't really have a picture of it, was for a Halloween costume for somebody, and they needed a royal blue skirt, and so I just used the Tavira skirt from Styla. I love the dress. I've never done the skirt for myself, but it's just the dress without the top, and I've made the dress multiple times. And I do have a tutorial on that, so I will put that link down below. But the skirt is just so quick, especially if you don't do the shorts on it. You just cut out the 2 pieces of the skirt, add the waistband, and you're done. So I also did that, and that one I used a nylon spandex from Millie Mae Fabrics that is great for athletic wear if you are looking for that. I wouldn't use it for leggings or anything like that, but something with more drape and then loose fitting. Highly recommend that fabric. All right, the next thing I made, I am obsessed. You may have seen these quilt block sweaters all over the internet. They've kind of gone viral in all different forms, and this is the Langley from Petite Stitchery. So they have a baby pattern, a kid/youth pattern, and then they also have an adult pattern, and they're all basically the same, but the baby pattern has a romper option. And I use this one in a sweatshirt fleece from Sincerely Riley that I bought a long time ago. And then I used a cotton spandex for the bands and the cuffs. And then this is all just, I think it was all from Joann's. It's just quilting cotton. And the pattern actually comes with a quilt block option. And there's 4 or 5 different sizes that you can make it different. And then they show you all the different layouts. A couple things. Overall, I love the pattern. I love the idea of it. The quilt block is not really written the best. It is not written by a quilter. Especially if you're a quilter, you're not going to want to follow this. It's going to drive you insane. I have dabbled in quilting, and it's enough to know that this method is not ideal. Because what they do is they have you cut out triangles and then piece the triangles together, where you could just do half square triangles, but you can follow it and do it, and it works out and it comes out really cute, and the instructions are all in there. But you also could get any quilt block you wanted, put it on here. You also could put it on any other pattern you wanted. So that is one note about it. Also, if you have never quilted and you do this, I saw a lot of people saying, I've never quilted before and now I know why. Like I said, that this method is really not quilting friendly. And so if you are interested in quilting and you do this, don't let it deter you from quilting, because there are a lot easier methods to piece together a block. And I'm not saying that it is wrong, but you know, there's always, especially in sewing, there's 100 ways to do something, and there are better ways and there are worse ways to do it. So definitely not the best way. But the other thing I will say is, for the romper, I was really hoping for like a big slouchy oversized fit. Now the top is, but you can kind of see here how it really just pulls in at the waist, and so it's really fitted kind of around the booty. And the designer did that. That's the style she wanted, because she wanted it to be able to go over pants. But I was hoping for that real big slouchy like sweatshirt fit with kind of like a bubbly hem, and then I could put like leggings or something under it for my daughter. This picture here is this one, and you can kind of see I did still do that, but should I make this again, I would cut this straight down from the arm side all the way down and widen out the hip, and then just use the same leg band. You may have to gather it in a little bit, but then that would give you that little bubble effect around the leg band. But again, that's just kind of personal preference. You could also do it where you would like this, and then it does fit over pants. But again, like, it's meant to be a sweatshirt, so to put pants over this, it would be really bulky, especially on top of a diaper. So just a couple of things to think about, but highly recommend this pattern. Love the fit for like the adult one. Even if you don't use the quilt block, the sweatshirt pattern is a great fit and style if you're looking for an oversized sweatshirt. And the last thing, these snaps. I see a lot of people asking questions about where to get snaps, what to use. I bought a kit on Amazon, and it was like a starter kit, and I have never had a single issue with it, so I will put a link to it down below. And then you can buy replacement packs of snaps for it, and it comes with a hand clamp. I don't have any issues with it. I don't have any issues with them popping off. I've never ripped off a snap unless I just didn't put it on right. So then that's just user error. But definitely recommend this snap kit and the snap press, especially if you are new to just getting into snaps and you don't want a huge investment. All right, next, this one's kind of cheating because this one was not in October. This was actually at the end of September, but I realized I never shared it with you guys, and I love this one too much to not share with you. This is the Mila jacket from Petite Stitchery. Again, this fabric is Raspberry Creek. This is a cotton spandex, so this makes a really nice lightweight sweatshirt, and it has the really cute half circle skirt on the jacket, which just makes it so cute. This pattern only comes in kids and baby sizes. This is a baby size. I'll pop it up on my daughter. It has, I never filled in I never sewed the hood shut. Oops. So I got to do that. But it does have a full separating zipper. So the zipper comes off. I got this zipper at Joann's, and it's really not hard. This was actually the first time I've ever done a separating zipper. I've done hundreds of zippers, but I've never made a full zip separating jacket, but it goes on just like a regular zipper. And then the hood is constructed in a really cool way where the seam is all enclosed. So again, highly recommend this pattern, especially if you're looking for a jacket pattern. You could also line it. The pattern is written to be lined if you wanted it to be a little bit heavier as well. So the next thing that I sewed up is the Violet from Samantha Marie Designs, and there is a romper version, a dress version, and then just a shirt version. And you also could do it without the side ruffles on it, but this is actually a relatively quick sew. I did the romper option. I made this for my daughter. This is a double knit, so it doesn't have the best stretch and recovery on it, which is why I did the neckband in the rib knit, which also matches the ruffle. It's really cute. I also did the hem sleeve. There's a couple different options. I think there's a cup and different sleeve lengths as well, but great pattern, highly recommend. I've only done the romper version, but I do have a tutorial on this exact one that I sewed up to help you get through it. And then I did snaps at the bottom. And next we have, this is another dolman from Lowland Kids, which I mentioned earlier that I made. This one is in a rib knit. You can kind of see the texture in there. This was custom printed through Ozcraft, and this really cute design. And again, this rib knit is pretty drapey, as you can kind of see how slouchy it is. So again, it's just really more of an oversized top for my son. One thing I didn't mention, I always do make a change with this pattern. One, if you have a little bit of a taller kiddo, I do feel like it does run a little bit more on the shorter side. So I would recommend adding a little bit of length. And I am not a fan of the neckband. The neckband is way too wide and it doesn't lay right. So I usually will just raise the front of the neckline just a smidge, and then I will shorten the neckband to about 2 inches wide when I cut it, so that then you can see here it's a little bit thinner, because otherwise it gets real thick and I just don't like how it lays. And actually, if you're like in the Facebook group and stuff, that's a very common complaint of this pattern is one, the length, and two, the neckband. So I wish that they would go through and update it, but as of right now, I don't think they have any plans to do that. But you always could just try it and see how you like it, and then decide what changes you need to make for your preferences. All right, next, this is the Brielle from Sustainable Cloth Company, and if you've been around, you know that I make these all the time. I have multiple tutorials. I do not have a tutorial for this one. I wanted to do one because I don't have a romper tutorial, but I'm planning on making more of these for my daughter. But I have a tutorial. This pattern, if you're not familiar with it, you could basically make anything you wanted from it. There's a dress, there's a shirt, there's a crop top, there's sleeve version, there's sleeveless versions, there's halter necks, there's tie shoulders. There's also a bishop sleeve option. I actually chose to do, this is the bishop sleeve, but I didn't put a cup on it. But then this skirted option, there's also options to do it not skirted. And then I did the, I don't remember what it was, the high cut line. There's, I think, a bummies cut line, and then there's a short cut line as well, which is great. There's also a pant add-on, so it's like a gathered pant that you can make a full romper, and it is lined at the top, so you don't have to worry about neck bands or anything like that. A full skirt and then a ballerina skirt. This is the full skirt at the tunic cut line, I believe. There's also a shirt line and then a knee length. So just so many options. It's kind of crazy, all jammed into one pattern. So if you are looking for a pattern that gives you the most bang for your buck, definitely recommend this one. And this one, I actually used a velvet, and then I lined it with just a different fabric because one, I didn't have very much of this fabric. And then this is a mesh tulle from Joann's. The spider web is so cute. So I made this one for my daughter, and then I did this for my older daughter, and this is actually a different pattern. This is Galena from Little Lizard King, and this is a free pattern. One thing I did change, there's binding, and so I just did a neckband. I just swapped the binding out for the neckband by just using the binding piece, and it makes it super easy. I don't usually have any issues with it. I use the piece as written. I just make it a band instead of a binding. And this one has a couple different options too, for the sleeves and stuff, but I love this one, and it comes together so quickly in this cute little puff sleeve. And then I did do 2 layers on the skirt, so this is a little bit different. This is I think it's a half circle skirt, if I am correct. All I did was I cut 2 skirts, and I wanted the pink velvet layer to be shorter, so I cut the mesh at the normal cut line for her size, and then I cut the bottom layer just at the size up cut line, so it's about 1 inch or so shorter. Just gives it the little bit of a layered look. But again, this is super quick, and I did not hem either of these because these are not going to ravel, and I just usually find on circle skirt most of the time they look a little bit neater, and I don't like hemming mesh. So I didn't hem either of these, and I didn't adjust for it because it really only makes a difference of like a 1/2 inch, and I always like to go on the side of longer so that it fits a little bit longer. But I have used this pattern time and time again, and I love it. And there is also a free adult pattern in this one. There's also an adult Brielle pattern as well from Sustainable Cloth Company. So if you are looking for a pattern to match your kiddos, these are great. All right, getting into the last couple of things here. This is the Felix pullover from Petite Stitchery, and this is kind of like a Free People dupe, so it's a very, very oversized fit. I actually sized down, I think 2 sizes, and you can just see how big this is. It is ginormous. I don't think I would even wear it if I made my size. I just feel like I would completely drown in it. And I did make this one out of a waffle, which these don't have the best recovery in them. These waffles are from boho fabric, so it's a little bit slouchier fitting here, but especially if I was using like a French terry, I would not make my size. So if you are going to make this pattern, just make sure you look. I believe this pattern includes finished measurements, but like, I mean, like that is just ginormous, and this is a extra small that I made. So, and if you're smaller, you may even have to go down to the kids and youth size because it just will swallow you up. But I love how it turned out. They do have it written in the pattern for the option to do exposed seams. You also could do it without the exposed seams, and it is written for either of those. Then there is the collar, and it is finished with a facing with this placket, which makes it really easy. You don't have to worry about creating a placket or anything like that. It just makes it super quick and easy. And then it has the elastic cuffs on the sleeve, and I love this. It is so cute. It also has, I actually did this part backwards. The waistband, the color block part is supposed to be on the front, but I actually really like it on the back. I do think I might take apart the front of it and do it on the front as well. You can't really tell that it's messed up if you're only looking at one side or if you didn't know, but I think it just adds a really fun contrast. So again, the only thing with this pattern is the sizing of it. It is meant to be oversized, but I didn't want to be swallowed in it. So again, Felix pattern, Felix pullover from Petite Stitchery, and this is an adult version, and there's also a kids version as well. All right, and the very last thing, I gotta finish real quick. My kids are up and about, so if you hear them at the end of this, I apologize. But this is the Ellie and Mac oversized tee. I love this pattern. It's probably one of my most used patterns. It is great, basic, super quick. So there's short sleeves, there's long sleeves, there's a cuff option. I don't know if there's a hem option for the sleeve. There's a band option. There's multiple different lengths for the shirt, so it really just covers everything I needed to. I wanted to make a quick shirt for my son's Halloween party, so I had this panel from Raspberry Creek. Again, love them. They have really cute holiday panels, so if you're looking to make like graphic tees and stuff, they come out with them every season, and you can get them in adult size and kid sizing so that you can match your kids as well. And the one thing with the panels is there's usually only enough for the front, so you have to get either coordinating fabric. They're usually printed with a white background, so you can always just do white like I did here. There's also usually coordinating print fabric, so like this was from a couple years ago, but there's probably candy corn and like cat prints that you could do, or you could do matching colors and things like that as well.
And actually the last thing is this Colleen cardigan from Made for Mermaids, made from a ribbed sweater knit from Boho Fabrics. And this pattern is great. It is very quick to sew. There is this basic option, which you see here, or there is also a color block option, and that one comes together pretty quickly as well. But it is just so cute. I've made a couple of these before, but this one in this black is going to just be a great staple piece for me this winter.
But that is everything that I sewed up in the month of October. I hope that you found some new patterns or new fabric shops or just some inspiration of something that you would like to sew up, or you have the pattern already and you just needed that little extra boost to sew it up. So if you have any questions about anything that I mentioned in this video, feel free to leave a comment down below. You can also find me on Instagram. I usually share what I'm working on there. Sometimes I will post it, sometimes I won't, sometimes it'll just be in my stories, but my Instagram is Sewbex. It's SEWBEXX, and you can follow along on my sewing there, and you also can subscribe to my channel here so that you're notified whenever I release future videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.